Each of us in our position as an independent individual can offer perspectives that are multifaceted and insightful, but for some reason, a crowd, a community, or society easily falls into a herd mentality. They or we are quickly driven by fear, coupled with defense mechanisms. This results in bad decisions. Independent thinking disappears entirely, giving way to something negative and more contagious. This is probably most evident in the Danish film, The Hunt. The movie starts with a lie from a child, which is slowly exaggerated into a nightmare for the protagonist. It shows the danger of mob mentality and how terrifying it is, especially when the entire agitation is based on a very thin line between truth and fiction. Every suspicion has its root, but the most unexpected thing is that Lucas's tragedy stems from his kindness. He's a kindergarten teacher who is very psychologically aware. Lucas is especially attentive to Clara. She's a rather lonely girl who often daydreams and wanders alone. He encourages her and tries to empathize with Clara's problems because she doesn't get much attention from her parents. But surprisingly, to get closer to her teacher, Clara shows her affection in a rather strange way. Her gestures are driven by feelings that she doesn't fully understand. Although Lucas handled the situation appropriately, her young mind isn't strong enough to cope with rejection. Clara denies everything she did. She sees the denial as a shield from her emotions. She even gets upset and badmouths her teacher. Unfortunately, soon, these words reach the principal. She misunderstands and immediately suspects Lucas of being a pedophile. Living in a small community where everyone knows each other, Lucas has always been liked for his friendly and sociable nature. But after the incident with Clara, Lucas's situation quickly deteriorates. When the principal spreads the warning to all parents at the school about the actions, which she believes Lucas took, this makes people both uneasy and outraged. Everyone thinks their child might be in danger from this man. He suddenly becomes a victim of a blatant fabrication. Lucas doesn't even know what the rumor is so that he can defend himself. Parents fully believe the principal. They immediately despise Lucas and refuse to listen to his side of the story. He loses his job, his emotional connection is severed. Lucas's son, because of this incident, cannot be reunited with his father. His close friends now look at him differently. Lucas's life becomes even more tragic when the authorities refuse to charge him because there isn't enough evidence. This should be an indication that Lucas is innocent. But instead of clearing his name, the community believes that the government isn't doing its job properly. They are outraged to see a pedophile still roaming free in the town. They are finding ways to personally carry out what they believe is justice. The crowd refuses to sell Lucas necessities. They find ways to beat him up, secretly kill his pets. Even his son is threatened. The character SEO has said, "You know that unity can be powerful in many situations." But The Hunt shows that a community is united to hunt down an individual who cannot fight back. This hatred is dangerous when it's like a hidden current that encourages people who only listen to one-sided information. They give themselves the right to carry out justice and are ready to attack and humiliate others. They believe that evil must be punished, but they don't realize that they are playing the role of evil. And because they don't know their actions are wrong, they can't see the line that they need to stop at. You can see that the community in The Hunt is a prime example of devaluing human life. They hastily jump to conclusions before the truth has been revealed. These kinds of incidents are not uncommon in real life. And the victim of an agitated mob could be anyone. It can begin with a casual remark, a malicious rumor, but what makes the situation dire is why do we, the masses, believe them? One of the things that the characters in The Hunt believe in, and they reiterate this, is that children don't lie. This mindset is a belief that's held by these people. They don't need to prove the opposite. And the more people repeat these words, they become the truth for them. According to the majority, every lie has a purpose. And a naive child like Clara couldn't possibly fabricate an entire story just to slander Lucas. We know Clara's lies are actually just a temporary frustration. But what is dangerous is that the lies are based on real information. A picture the girl saw in the past. Maybe this is what adds weight to her words and makes everyone believe it's true. And I think even in the moment when Clara says these things, she doesn't realize that she could cause trouble for those around her. The principal, after finding out, said that she wouldn't jump to conclusions, but the way she invited a psychologist to talk to Clara seems to be just a step to reinforce what she already believed. The psychologist's questions are leading, trying to insert false information. Even when Clara admitted that she lied, people not only didn't care, they saw it as a sign that Clara was suffering from psychological trauma. They automatically twist the meaning of Clara's response. They pressure her to answer until they get their way. The malicious rumor originates from the principal's perspective. It has now become a frightening force enough to destroy every aspect of an innocent man's life. The reason this rumor has so much power is because it's a sensitive issue spread by those who have a place in society. Their reputation and credibility have caused the community to accept the information passively without filtering it. So, even without strong evidence, a person can confidently accuse someone else based on the statements of individuals they trust. Not to mention that it exists as a warning to those around. So, negative rumors, like in The Hunt, are easy to spread quickly and widely. In The Hunt, almost everyone believes the rumors, despite their instincts telling them otherwise. Clara's father once asserted that he could tell when Lucas was lying, but he still chooses to listen to the crowd and doesn't dare to trust his friend. Or Lucas's girlfriend initially sees the principal's accusation as a joke. But when things get serious, she starts to doubt and question him. Even Clara, being influenced by adults around her, seems to also start believing her own lies. She accepts the fictional scene that her mother weaves into existence. She believes that her mind has forgotten many details from that day as a way to cope with the terrifying events. While we know this isn't the case, you can see that the line between truth and lies is very thin. We can't tell right from wrong if we just rely on our feelings and a few small clues. Sadly, many of us have considered mob mentality to be one of the strong proofs of truth. We completely believe and support it without thinking twice about it, or looking at the situation from a different perspective. The characters in The Hunt also hold on to this seemingly sound view. And in the end, they unintentionally destroy the lives of innocent people like Lucas. In the final segment of The Hunt, when Lucas has been accepted back into the community, he is still a criminal in the eyes of extremists. Because ultimately, faith is something that no one can control, and the truth can't be satisfying for those who don't believe in it. The moment when Lucas looks toward the person who shot him, perhaps he realized that society can't see him as he was before. He'll never be completely cleared of his name, nor will he be able to erase the prejudices that have taken root in the minds of others. The hunt comes to an end. Lucas, as prey, collapses and despairs in his innocence. The faceless hunter could be anyone in the community. Those who still believe, and will always believe, that their actions are right, until the very last minute. Speech is one of the most powerful forces that a crowd possesses. Using it for righteous purposes, we can make society a better place. But the danger is that the definition of righteousness is easily shaped and manipulated within the mindset of a collective. Time and again, we've seen how mob mentality can quickly lead to extremism, leaving behind devastating consequences. Aside from condemning the harmful collective mentality, The Hunt also contains a hidden message. That a person, regardless of who they are or what they've done, deserves to be respected, not just physically but also emotionally and mentally. Because we are all human, and that alone is enough to give our words and our beings value. Everyone in this society will never truly understand the terrifying experiences that others have gone through. So, before accusing someone, try to be fair to them. Don't let yourself get pulled into a hunt if we can be the ones to pluck the weeds, ending the life of an innocent prey.